Hi guys, welcome to a brand new season of the Arsenal Away podcast with me, Samrid, and of course Ashwin. As usual, we're a brand new Arsenal fan channel. Two passionate gooners from India. We've been doing this since about October of last year. So please give us a like, follow our Twitter account at the Arsenal Away, and of course subscribe to YouTube where we post most of our stuff. And welcome to a brand new season of ups and downs and everything Arsenal related. Everything Mikel has been bringing to us has been fantastic so far. Two trophies in a month. If you want to count the Community Shield as a trophy, I'm definitely counting it as a trophy because if we had lost it, or if Liverpool had won it, they'd count as a trophy, and so would have any other club. But jokes apart, great win, great morale booster to have beaten the reigning champions for the second time. Now, once in the league and now in the curtain raiser for the Premier League. Ashwin, positive start to the season. Hopefully, we continue this upward trend and just close the window with hopefully a better squad and everything that Mikel requires moving forward.
Uh, it's been a positive end to last season, and it's just hopefully continues towards this season. I think in the space of 2 months, we've gone from beating Liverpool at the Emirates, then beaten City in the semi-finals, beating Chelsea in the finals, scored two goals against both sides. I mean, all three sides in all these games, and then beat Liverpool again. The first Liverpool game when we played them at the Emirates, I remember, wasn't full strength. It was just 3 days before the game that we played against City. So Arteta did rest most of his squad, and I wasn't really expecting much because Liverpool played their full strength side, and somehow we managed to beat them. But then we managed to repeat that against City, and then we did that again 10 days later against Chelsea as well. So definitely positive signs. Mikel's turned the season around for us. I mean, from what we started off with under Emery and got us from. I mean, finishing eighth is not great. It's not where Arsenal want to be, but positives. We spoke about how we won a cup and winning a cup. We take winning a cup over finishing either fifth or sixth or maybe even fourth, because whenever Arsenal finished top four, people used to mock us by saying top four is not a trophy. But now every team seems to be getting into the top four, and it's now considered better than winning a trophy, which I feel is complete BS. But yeah, the Liverpool game. What can I say? I mean, we have a few players that really love Wembley as a stadium. I remember Ramsey scoring tons of goals at Wembley. Even Alexis, for that matter, when he played for Chile as well as for Arsenal, he loved Wembley, scored tons of goals. And now we've got Aubameyang scoring 5 goals for us in the space of 1.5, 2 months, where he scored. And when people keep talking about how Aubameyang doesn't score against big teams, he's got two against City, two against Chelsea, and now he's got that vital goal against Liverpool. So, I mean, just positives from there. And to your last point, where you spoke about how Mikel should be, with a few smart signings, and if the board backs Mikel, we can look forward to a good season. I think you and me have been banging on about this for since Mikel joined us, and since he structured the team to play the way that he wants them to, that he really needs to be back, because you've gone and seen what Chelsea's done in the market right now, gone and spent 200 million, picked up some very, very big players, and very talented players. Let's not forget, United have made a few signings as well. Yesterday, I think Fabrizio Romano confirmed Van der Beek to United for 35 million, which I feel is a steal. I think they'll still go in for Sancho. They'll pay that 120 million that they have to and get Sancho as well. With City possibly getting Messi and Liverpool being superior, we have to keep up, because our squad, as much as Mikel will try to improve them and make them better players, if we don't add to that squad, we will suffer. So I know the window shuts on the 6th of October. There is some time to go, but that's probably 4 or 5 games into our season already. It'd be fun. It'd be not fun. It'd be great to actually get the business done early and start the season. But knowing us, we always leave it for the end. So yeah, hoping we make some good, decent signings and add to the squad so that it boosts our chances to make top four. Uh, let's not be let's not be unrealistic here. We're not going to we're not going to be champions of the Premier League. It's going to take us a couple of years to get there, but top four should be our aim, to break back into that and to win to get back into the Champions League. So yeah, positive signs.
What did you make of the game? Did you? We looked a little leggy because also this was our first competitive game, and while Liverpool had already had a preseason in Austria and whatnot, but we still have players who are quarantined because of their holidays. We have a pretty young squad that played out. I thought we did look a little leggy towards the end, but I mean, you can't really draw very much because it's a preseason game at the end of the day. But any thoughts that stand out? I think for me, the build-up, of course, for the first goal was what we've seen a lot with Arteta over the last few months. Um, Saka with the assist, Oba with the goal from outside of the box. Um, anything that stood out for you so far?
What stood out for me was the calmness in play. Um, I think we spoke about this a couple of pods ago, where when the team tried to play out of the back, um, when we were under Emery versus how we're playing out of the back when we're under Arteta. We're more comfortable on the ball. Like if you see the goal that we scored against City, the goal we scored against Chelsea, even the goal against Liverpool that day, it all started from the goalkeeper, and we like the opposition team put pressure on us, and we managed to play around their pressure and score a goal. Like it's not one of those where you're lumping the ball forward and Aubameyang's using his pace to run in behind the defenders and scoring the goal. We're actually playing through the press and scoring that goal. So that really stood out to me. I know, like you mentioned, Liverpool had a week and a half extra preparation than us. They played two friendly games. We had like a friendly against MK Dons 3 days before, where half the squad didn't play. I remember Arteta telling us in his interview that David Luiz had 1 day of training and wanted to play. I think it was similar for most of the people because I remember when Emi Martinez did his Instagram live, he was talking about how he was quarantined. So I'm pretty sure he must have come in like 1 or 2 days before the game. So for a lot of people to come out of the cold, and even someone like Hector, who wasn't involved at MK Dons at all, who didn't travel with them, and to come in and play, and I felt Hector did really well at right back that day. So it's good to see that Mikel's getting even the youngsters to. I mean, it to be honest, that wasn't our first team squad at all. Like there was no Willian, there was no Lacazette, there was no Pepe. We missed a lot of players, but to have the kids come in do that was phenomenal. And you spoke about us being leggy. I felt that if we had the same sort of fitness that Liverpool had, we wouldn't have conceded that first goal that we conceded against Liverpool. We'd
Yeah.
probably won that game. It's funny because Klopp gave an interview saying that his team got leggy, which was funny because they've been training a week and a half more than we've been training, and uh, yeah, honestly, like what was even better for me was after we conceded that goal, it was very easily the heads could have dropped and Liverpool could have really taken the game to us. But we didn't let that happen. We in fact had a few chances after that, and we played really well towards the end. We created about two or three more chances there where we could have scored and probably ended the game. I think that one chance that Joe Willock had where he got in between the defenders and he should have taken that, probably won that game 2-1 and didn't need to go into penalties. But really impressed that we've managed to now beat the so-called bigger teams. It just depends on how consistently we can do this over a 38 game season. At the same time, how we play against teams that will be putting the defensive low block against us instead of us doing that to them. So yeah, that'll be interesting to watch. That's something Mikel's going to have to do to get the team in, to put in these sort of performances week in week out. I'm going to ask you two questions. Um, Before the game, there were lots of talks about Ainsley leaving. There were lots of talks about Martinez leaving. There seems to be a U-turn between the club and these players now. Your thoughts on Ainsley? Your thoughts on Maitland-Niles? And your thoughts on the 5 penalties we scored against? Let's not forget, possibly the best goalkeeper in the league right now, and how we did that. So
Uh, Look, I think for Martinez, I think it's a continuation of his form. He's been excellent. There was that save in the second half where he smothered the ball. I think it was Minamino, or was it, I forget the name of the Liverpool player who he smothered the ball off of. Martinez, no complaints. I don't think he could have done very much about the goal that we conceded, because it was just, I think, multiple bodies involved, multiple hands that the ball went through. So I couldn't have done much about that. I think Niles Ainsley, I mean, he just seems to look like he can play any role that's called off him, either a midfielder or a fullback, or any other role that Arteta season fit for. I don't see him putting a foot. I haven't seen him put a foot wrong anywhere, for that matter. As far as them leaving, um, I don't know.
Would
I
you be
would
okay?
start.
Would you be okay if, say, suppose a 25 million bid came in for Ainsley and say a 25 million bid or 20 million bid came in for Emmy, and the club sold them? Would you be okay with that?
No, look, I think it's difficult to find a player like Ainsley for the kind of money that we'll sell him for. You will get a very average player. And the fact is that he's homegrown. He's been in Arsenal since he was six. He's gone up through the ranks. I don't think he would also want to leave. I think um, Arteta sees him as adding a lot of value. I don't think, if the kind of signings we make, with the rumored signings, the names of Partey and Aouar and Ceballos, if they all come back, I don't know if he'll get to start. But I definitely think that he has a hugely important role to play in the coming season. I would keep him. I would be I wouldn't be too averse to let either one of our keepers leave. To be honest, I think Leno needs to work on his distribution. I think Martinez has that edge over him in terms of his distribution. Also, I think Martinez is a lot more comfortable with ball to his feet. They're both excellent shot stoppers. I think Leno needs to work on his distribution and, of course, his ability to play out from the back, which Martinez seems to have gotten down. Also, maybe because Martinez has played slightly more games than has a much more sustained run, and Leno had three different coaches under him, so maybe that's also made a difference. Um, would I wouldn't be averse to letting one of the two keepers go, assuming that money is invested in 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 upgrades and not someone who's on par. Um, which is why I would like to see, like, I think, I know we were talking on the group. I would like to see the likes of, like, I think we can do better than El Neni. I think I can we can do better than Kolasinac if we're getting rid of him. I think we can do better than Socrates. I think we can do better than Holding. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at with those two. What was your second question?
It was regarding the penalties and how fantastically
Penalties.
bypassed.
Yeah, no, I think I don't think I've seen us. Funnily enough, I was more surprised. I was more nervous for Auba's penalty than I was for the other ones, because also I wasn't really expecting them to score, and everyone was just on point from Reese, who took the first one, um,
Cedric,
to
Ainsley, Louis.
Cedric, Ainsley, Louise. I was more nervous for Louise and for Auba than I was for the other three.
But what was that penalty
Uh,
from Ainsley, dude? So coolly done, calmly
Yeah,
stopping the ball.
it was. I think, as Tim Stillman tweeted, the most on-brand penalty you'll ever see. Like, he seems to have a air of casual swag about him, and he just, like, does his job. But
And
yeah, I mean,
let's not forget that's Allison. It's not like
yeah, it's Allison.
it's
It's
who's
not
the
like it's a
reserve keeper. Yeah, yeah.
second string keeper. Yeah, correct.
And,
And that guy, like, Allison, fills up the goal. He's a huge guy.
yeah, he's a huge guy, and
Uh,
he
huge
cost
guy.
Liverpool about 70, 72 million, 75 million for. So he's
Yeah.
probably one of the league's best keepers in the league, or probably in the world as well. So
Yeah, so I think it was hugely intimidating, but I think it was good experience for the guys to at least continue a sense of winning. Like, Wembley's had good memories for us over the last few years, and now these players have won well, quote unquote, two trophies in a month, even though
It's a
it's
trophy,
only
bro.
the
It's a
FA Cup that
trophy.
actually matters. Yeah, I get that, but I mean, you and I both know. I mean, it's the
It's
FA
a,
Cup that actually gets counted. But
yeah,
I think it's a good start to the season. Like the trophy showed its importance because you could see the Liverpool players' reactions when Oba was stepping up. There's a screenshot of Mane with his hand holding his hands to his face. There's a screenshot um, of
Rooster.
the Liverpool players just standing there and watching the Arsenal celebrations. Klopp with his open face expression was again visible.
Yeah,
So all of these things matter to players. Maybe not as much to fans, but it's a good start. It's a confidence building start, and yeah, I hope we continue. I hope we have. My only concern is I just hope I have always wanted us to do all our business and all our. I want a set squad before the season starts, and I don't think it's going to happen this time, especially with COVID and whatnot. And also, as you very rightly said, the window is open till
6th of
first week of
October.
October.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll be 5 games in. Then I think we've got Liverpool away as well in those first 5 games. So it's going to be
yeah.
tough. A newly promoted Fulham first day of the season. We should be winning, but again, you can never tell with Premier League teams nowadays. So yeah, I would have liked to see us have everyone, and I'm excited to see Willian play. I hope we have our match fitness up and ready, and we have all the players who are available to us at least fit and firing before the season starts.
Is William still playing for Brazil, or is he retired?
Is Willian still playing?
I think he
I
is.
don't know.
It just sucks that
I don't
you
know.
have the curtain raiser and then you have an international break. It's just so unnecessary, that you finally get the players back and you're trying to build some sort of momentum, and then they go away with their national team, and then you never know what sort of condition they come back in, like whether they contract coronavirus there.
And what's funny is like what's funny is this season as well as the next are going to be contracted because of the World Cup coming up in
Yeah,
22. Next season there's a summer tournament. Euros is going to happen next season. So yeah, we have tournaments in 2 consecutive years with COVID kicking off. So I don't know what the point of these games are. It's pointless, and they shouldn't be like they should clubs shouldn't be releasing players, but I guess that's how it is in modern football nowadays.
I mean, Rashford's pulled out, and I read a couple of more players are pulled out. And it again seems to be one of those where,
Yeah.
like United have the pull by telling the managers that, we don't want to play, you don't want to send our players. And, I wish we could do that as well and control it as well and not send out the players. But yeah, let's see. Exciting times. Just before we end the show, what do you think? Like there was after the game. I know I bring this up, but Troops did a Instagram live with Aubameyang's brother, and he basically said that he's coming to London on Monday or Tuesday for something big. Now there was just before we got on this podcast, there was a journalist I think that said that Aubameyang's contract is done. So hopefully some good news tomorrow.
Look, the Arsenal admin has been announcing Cedric and Murray signings 6 months after they've been done. Today he announced um,
Mkhitaryan going away.
today he announced Hendrik Mkhitaryan leaving when everyone knew it was done like 2 months ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if he announces Oba signing a new contract next year. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what the deal is. So everyone knows it's done. It's just a matter of calling announcing it, and it's sort of be deflated. I feel the excitement sort of gone out of the fans because everyone knows it's done. Oba's been teasing. His brother's been teasing. The ITKs have said it's done. Um, Gabriel is also done. He's here. I guess I was reading today that they're waiting for
His
that for another
quarantine.
week because he's got his quarantine going on apparently.
There's
So
probably
yeah,
announcement next week.
yeah. I mean, I just rather have them done it and just avoided all these questions and focus on bigger things. But I guess it's fine. It is what it is. we're not Chelsea who've gone and spent 200 million pounds in a horribly financially tight season. And you spoke about Van der Beek. I don't think Van der Beek gets a start for United. I think that midfield. I mean, imagine if Pogba, Van der Beek, and Bruno start, they have no one running. They have no one who can hold up the ball and shield the back four. So that guy, the team has an open run for them. But I don't think Van der Beek, great addition, but definitely not going to start for them.
Maybe he benches Rashford and moves Van de Beek to the left. It's a possibility to play him, or they're trying to build squad depth. And I mean, it's a great signing for United. He's one of those young players from the Ajax team
Yeah,
that you're really
I
interested
mean
in.
the only reason why he went to Arsenal is he. No, I mean the only reason he went to United because there's no other Premier League club that was interested in him. We were rumored to have been linked with him, and I'm sure he would have preferred London over Manchester.
He's also dating Dennis Bergkamp's
Oakham's
daughter.
daughter.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he would
Plus
probably
he would have. Plus he like. There's a reason why players are getting excited about Arteta because he's proving to be like the youngest, freshest kid on the block. So I'm sure he'd have done that, and no big player in his mind will join United except for money because Ole is definitely not someone that people want to play for, even though they finished in the Champions League. So we still have the pull. Luckily, the FA Cup and the project Arteta has its fair share of suitors. So it's like big players you'd only see joining the likes of Chelsea and United only for money and no other reason. I wouldn't be surprised if Kai Havertz goes back to Germany or somewhere else in a couple of seasons because Chelsea are just sucking.
let's not forget
Also,
that.
also I don't know. Also, I don't know if you know Ziyech is now out injured with a knee injury.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
But that's the thing, right? Like, see, they've signed some fantastic players. They're going to be signing Kai Havertz, which is going to be done soon. They've signed Ziyech. They've signed
yeah,
Werner, right? These guys are
yeah,
fantastic guys. But let's not forget they're coming from a different league. They're coming from a German league where and the Dutch league, which is not going to be as physical as the Premier League. You Everybody knows adapting to the Premier League is going to take you at least 5 months or 6 months to adapt. It happened with
yeah.
Henri. It happened with Perez. It happened with Bergkamp. It's happened with Pepe. It's
It
happened
happened
with
with Pulisic. It
it
happened
happened
with Pulisic. He
exactly.
stayed.
I mean, someone like Nabi Keita, when he came in, he was so, like all these guys have struggled. So, so Chelsea, even though they're going to have spent that much, Lampard's going to have to play a very safe game by either protecting these guys and bringing them on, like how Klopp did with Fabinho, or Chelsea fans are going to be in for a rude shock when they see these guys not being able to perform to the standard
Yeah.
that they're supposed to. I'm not saying they won't, but they are going to struggle. Like when you're going to have games coming in thick and fast, and you know the season's already very cramped up, it is going to be hard. Imagine going away to a Wolves, going away to a Sheffield United, going away to one of these guys who are going to keep bombarding you and pushing you. It's not going to be easy for these guys.
Imagine, and I'm gonna end it with this. Imagine Messi finally makes it to City this season, and Stoke's not there, and now we'll never know how Messi will do it on a tough night away at Stoke.
But just having the prospect of Messi in the Premier League, even though it's at the fag end of his career, it's still mouth watering. Like it's going to
It's
be
exciting, man. I
yeah,
can't wait. I can't wait to watch him.
yeah,
I can't
yeah.
wait to watch him. I can't wait to watch him play against us, and I can't wait
For
to see
Tierney to
Tierney pocket
pocket him.
Messi. Yeah, I mean that's obviously is gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's
So
gonna
I can't
happen.
wait for that. I can't wait for
Yeah.
that.
Katie is gonna come home from his Tesco bag. He's gonna take out his keys. He's gonna take out Lionel
Take
Messi.
a
Yeah.
So
No, but that's
that's
good.
been our pod, guys. That's been our pod, guys. Thank you so much for joining in on this brand new episode of season 2 of the Arsenal Way podcast. As always, give us a follow, give us a shout on Twitter. We'd love to speak with you, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for the preview of the season of the league coming up this weekend before a preview of the Fulham game post that. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks,
Thanks,
Ashwin.
guys. Thank you.